Welcome back to the Poi N Soy podcast. I am your co-host, Keoni McKeague.
I am your co-host, Nolan Tcheng.
And I am your last co-host, Shirai.
We really went with the co-host thing.
Hey, we just kept the theme going.
I feel like we struggled through that. Anyway, today's podcast, we're going to talk about the NBA playoffs, our reactions to it. Mavs and Celtics both forced a Game 7, while the Heat and the Warriors end the seasons of the 76ers and the Grizzlies, respectively. We're going to start off with the Heat series, so Heat versus 76ers. Jared, swinging it to you. What happened? Anything comment on what happened after the game, before the game? There was a lot of drama after the game, but we're going to swing it to you. What are your thoughts on that series?
I'm going to just stay in the basketball realm of things because we don't need to talk about all the drama. But again, I was wrong. Nothing wrong there, you know. I don't know, Keoni. You just don't pick after me, Keoni. That's all I'm saying. Just pick after me.
I'm trying to think. Did I pick with you?
I think we picked Game 7 for this game, right? Did we pick a 7-game series?
I think I went 6 on this one.
I think we went 7.
I went 7 for Celtics Bucks.
Yeah, I went 7 for Celtics Bucks. I feel like I went 6 for Heat 76ers. And I think I said Heat, but either way.
Yeah. Well,
we're gonna have to rewatch.
Just don't pick after me. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm having the worst luck right now, you know. But
for Joel Embiid's one, I think, and I wasn't surprised with how all the social media outlets portrayed it. They literally just start off with the quote, "He's not that guy anymore," and literally the line right after that they didn't put anywhere. He's more of a playmaker, facilitator now, and he's looking for it. And they kind of skewed what Joel Embiid was saying, and just to twist it on its head.
Yeah.
But you can tell that Joel has something that he wants to say, but at the same time, he isn't putting the loss on Harden because it's not all on Harden. Is Harden a headache? I think we can see he's a little bit.
Not all on Harden? Is it not all on Harden? I was like, hey, you brought this dude in to be that dude, and for him to show up. What was it? I thought they said something like two shot attempts or something like that.
Yeah, in the second half. Only
I'm like, 11 points. Come on, you're known to be a scorer. I don't know. To me,
no, you're right.
This series falls a lot on Harden's shoulders.
I'm wondering if, because obviously up until now, Harden knows that he's the guy, right? On his teams that he's been in the past. Even on the Nets, there was a kind of like an spoken thing like, hey, I'm going to be the guy while Kyrie's not playing, and then Katie, you're injured. I'm going to be that guy. I don't know if it was like him coming to the Sixers and just understanding that, you know, Tobias and Embiid kind of have their thing going on, try to run things through them, which is kind of where 2 shot attempts. I think Harden obviously is a volume shooter. He's always been a volume shooter, but it's not. He's not scared of shooting. I think it was more of he needs to see what's going to help win the game. And in that series, Embiid was the reason, or should have been, if they won.
The reason why.
Yeah, the reason why.
Yeah.
Harden is Harden. He can pull up or draw the foul as easy as he needs to, depending on the refs. But yeah, I think Embiid's quote for sure has maybe like 30% truth to what people are portraying it as, but at the same time, the other 70% is him just being like, hey, this is a team game. Harden did what he could, and he's not that same 40 points a game person.
Yeah. Jimmy Butler and Joel Embiid will one day play together, first of all. I feel like that's going to happen at some point. Second of all, I also feel like Embiid knows the type of player that Jimmy Butler is, and he saw that James Harden was not that type of player. He saw that he does not have that dog mentality that when everything is on the line, I'm gonna get this guy to play his best. He's gonna play his hardest, gonna play his heart out. I mean, it showed in his stats, it showed in his demeanor throughout the game. And then on top of that, I feel like Harden's post-game interview where he was talking about some of the coaching differences and some of the things that he saw from Doc Rivers. And like, you know, I would say it seemed like he was throwing digs towards Doc Rivers. Like he maybe feels like Doc Rivers isn't the coach for him. And I don't know, maybe just in the way he worded the fact that he kind of felt like he wasn't getting the touches or the looks that he wanted. And then of course there's like all these rumors that are going around. I'm not a rumor guy, but I do feel like they've been talking about Mike D'Antoni coming over, and we already know that James Harden, Mike D'Antoni, they got like a pretty, you know, great relationship. And on top of that, they also have Daryl Morey in the front office. So you know that if there's a way that they can make it happen, and you know, slowly, like they were saying on First Take, was just that Daryl Morey inherited Doc Rivers. He didn't really sign Doc Rivers, didn't go out and get Doc Rivers. So that's not his guy. But I just feel like there's a lot of turmoil within that team, and it just showed with Embiid's demeanor, with Harden's demeanor. And then, of course, like, I'm just, you know, spitballing on Embiid's comments about Jimmy Butler, and then Jimmy Butler's comments towards Embiid. It just feels like there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I'm predicting that there's going to be some decisions to be made. Moving on. So,
but do you think it's going to be Embiid going to Butler or Butler going back to?
I would say that if they don't find a way to get his max contract, and if at some point, I mean, right now it's a players' league. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of movement based on players being like, you know what, I got my contract. You guys aren't making the moves to get me to my championship. And we all know Embiid definitely, I mean, by himself, he's able to basically carry a team to a championship. But I feel like if he's given, like, if he's wasting his prime years in Philly, I feel like he's going to request a trade at some point. And if that ends up being to the Heat, or if they end up meeting somewhere else, I just don't foresee him staying there forever. And we already know Daryl Morey is the type of guy who he'll trade guys like that, even if they are doing really well. I mean, he's willing to make those big trades if it's something that he can get something even better out of. And you already know he makes some amazing trades. I mean, he fleeced some of the teams that he's traded with. So definitely.
Straight up trade Harden for Butler. Miami was the next spot that he was looking at too.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, honestly, that would be.
But Jimmy coming back to the Sixers, though.
He did say he enjoys the city, but yeah, for sure.
I mean, the things that he's built in the last 3-4 years that he's been there, it's like,
culture,
why are you gonna leave? Like, he built that culture, he built that. I would say he built that team, but I mean, the chemistry and the mindset that they have, it's been very collaborative because he's been there, and it's like you said, he has that dog mindset, and I think it's rubbed off on a lot of the players on that team, and that's why they've been so successful through this playoffs.
It does suck to think that they might join together like too late. Like
Embiid, Butler's already 32, 33.
Yeah, and exactly. Butler's gonna come like a little bit out on his way out, and Embiid's still kind of like middle ending of his career as well. So
exactly. Great thing about Butler's game is it's a lot of it is based on hustle.
All around,
just has
facilitating.
So
more mindset.
Like, even if he loses a little bit of his athleticism, he still has that hustle, which is
exactly.
Yeah, going to carry him into this league
But can his joints carry him all the way to the end?
That's true, because even at 31, my joints are giving me problems.
It's like, welcome
to my world, guys. Welcome to my world.
To be fair to Jaren Jackson Jr., they were focusing a lot more on him in Game 6. I mean, they were funneling him into Draymond. There were a lot more double teams, a lot more traps they were playing on him. So
I mean, that's hats off to the adjustments,
you
know.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, dude, he was hitting like logo threes in Game 5.
Just like adjustments made by Steve Kerr.
I know.
Great coach or no?
I mean, that could have been.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I was just saying, Steve Kerr's not even in.
You're right.
Steve Kerr's still out with COVID.
Ooh.
He got the Rona
protocol. Yeah. So
and Mike Brown's going to the Kings.
And you know, Mike Brown's I love Mike Brown. Every team that Mike Brown's been on, he's been such a good part of it. You know, he's got
like that short stint with the Lakers.
Okay, we don't talk about that, man. Come on,
great.
man.
Then we got
We
to
don't talk about Bruno.
I know.
we don't talk about Brown.
I'm not trying to throw you under
Oh.
the bus over here. No, we're trying to bring out the Lakers. Browno? Wow.
We don't talk about Brown. No.
We're gonna get DMCA'd. We talked about it last time, and it sucks because I really want him to get a ring. But Chris Paul, it's just Chris Paul, in my opinion. Like,
honestly,
and Chris Paul is on, and he's good. Like this last game, 13 points, 4 7, 3 of 5, but 5 fouls. How much minutes? 36 minutes. He's used to playing like 40, like 44
games,
minutes. Yeah, in the big games, the closeout games, it's 44 minutes a game or 42. And for him to be off the court for that long, I think it messes with their system. Then you ask Booker to do things. You ask, what was it, Cameron Payne to jump in, like who only got 4 minutes, but he's forced to play minutes. And like you guys are saying, who do they have off the bench? Because they don't. I mean, I'm gonna go out and read who played: Wainwright, Craig, Cam Johnson, Biyombo, Payne, and Shamet. That's might have been the most minutes. That's the most minutes Shamet might have played because they were getting blown out. You know,
it's funny. I didn't realize until you just read those names that's not a really good bench at all.
And the only person that didn't play due to coaches' decision is Peyton, McGee, and Holiday. But I mean, like when you look at everything in the long run, it's really gotta be Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And if
which Holiday is that plays for them?
I think Justin. No.
Aaron Holiday.
Oh, yeah. They got Aaron Holiday from the Pacers?
Yeah.
Yep. Didn't realize that.
So, in my opinion, I'm just riding the wave of that Luka's been so good, that the team's been playing so well. Granted, they are playing in Phoenix. Granted, that's home court advantage. But, I think Luka's been doing it because he started at such a young age in the EuroLeague. Yeah. And I think he's been able to play in such big games that I don't think he gets shook. Yeah, I don't think he gets shook. He's going to step up and, he's going to come out. And at the very end, you're going to just see him put his hands up and say, I'm here. I've arrived. And he's going to lead them to the Western Conference Finals.
Other thing about
that's my take. That's my take, at least.
One of the things, too, is he's one of the best players at controlling the pace of the game. Like, he is not fast by any means, but he plays at a pace. Yeah, exactly. He plays at a pace that everybody has to play at because he's just so good at controlling the ball and just
the ball's in his hand. He's so ball dominant, but I mean,
and I think Jared said it last week. He's LeBron without the athleticism.
Exactly.
He's LeBron without the athleticism, and because EuroLeague, it is more of a flow. He's used to creating and conducting that like Chris Paul does. And so that's why this is a really good point guard to point guard matchup. But I think you give it to the Mavs. I think the Suns are going to take it. But either way, it's going to be a shit show when it gets to the Western Conference Finals because the Warriors are going to run through either of those teams, especially if history repeats itself as the Suns are not really showing up. When it's getting to the higher end of the game 5, game 6,
the closeout,
it's going to be a lot of issues. So we'll have to see kind of where that goes from there.
Yeah. So your overlying thoughts? I mean, you just gave your prediction already for the Mavs Suns game, but what were your thoughts on the game, Nolan? Did you see anything different from what from what Jared saw? You said you think the Suns are going to take it. Why do you think they're going to take it?
Sorry.
Well, that just says it right there. I guess Luka's winning. Luka's winning. Yeah.
Sorry.
Silence.
Nicole was asking for where the egg whites were, so.
Okay.
I think.
Where are the egg whites, though?
The fridge. Well, Keoni, I think that if.
Why is it always this serious that big stuff?
I think if one team scores more than the other team by the end of the game, they'll be the winners.
I agree. That's a great take.
Thank you. If they put the ball in the hoop more than the other team, They got this in the bag.
Why? It's literally in the last one. I think it was the same exact one.
I think it was
You
the same
started with
series
this
and you
voice.
did the same thing.
I don't get it. Is it because it's the Bucks? I don't understand. What is this voice?
I don't know, Keoni. I don't know what to tell you.
Warriors
Warriors,
Celtics.
Celtics.
So this is. We'll see. All three of us have different predictions, so we're gonna see who makes it to the finals.
Then you find out it's none of ours. It's Mavs Heat.
or it's like Suns Heat or something.
I just picked the
how about the
Mavs Heat.
Suns?
Yeah, there's still a
It's
chance.
it's gonna be Bucks Suns.
That
It's gonna
would
be a repeat.
full-
It's gonna we're running it back.
Honestly, I don't even want to see. Honestly, I didn't even like that game last year. I don't even want to see
Yeah.
that game again. To be
I
honest,
know.
like the way they're playing right now, I'd be pretty upset if those teams make it to the finals. I really don't want to see the Suns in the finals. Nothing against CP. I think he deserves a title. I just honestly don't like the way the team has been playing lately. It's not really interesting for me to watch them play. But
The way you're going to win this one is if you win the last game of the season, you're the champion.
what is with this voice? I don't understand where did this come from. Anyway, we're moving on to the end of this.
Okay,
Uh,
what
just-
do you think?
Just yeah, well, I think we've kind of hit it on the nail already. I was what?
Hot take. Tobias Harris and Tyrese Maxey for Jimmy Butler.
Oof. I mean, okay, but that's what I was gonna. That's gonna kind of trickle into what I was gonna finish with. I was gonna say just one word answers, but I feel like if the Heat take it this year, there's no way there's no way you trade. First of all, you don't trade Jimmy Butler at this point in his career. Second of
agree.
all, yeah.
Well, how
I
long is
think
his contract, though? This is his third
It wa-
season with them. Was it a 3-year or a 4-year?
it definitely is a 4-year. I don't know what the
Is
restrictions
the fourth year
are
an
as far
option?
as, like,
Or
yeah, that's what I was saying. I don't know if it's like a player option or team option. I'm not even sure, but
so we'll see.
I
I
do-
mean, he could just up and leave on his own.
that is true. But I feel like most likely it's going to be Embiid moving because realistically, Heat culture, you can't beat it, man. The way they build their teams, the way that they have their dynasties built.
Who doesn't want to party in South Beach?
You got Pat Riley and then Eric Spoelstra. It's like such a great system to get through. But anyway, one word answer since we're kind of getting up there in time. Give me your winners of the end.
Oh no.
Who's going to be your NBA champion? Jared, going with you first.
I mean, if I have to go with who I picked, as far as the Mavs Heat, yeah.
Couldn't even do it. You were gonna
What team
say
is that,
Luka.
Jared?
I don't know.
Here we are at the end of the podcast. We'd like to thank you so much for coming to check us out. Nolan, hit us with your socials. Let us know where the people can find you.
You can find me at Nolan KYT, NOLAN KYT, Instagram, Twitter, all the good stuff. Appreciate the support so far. Still open to all the recommendations or advice, critiques, anything you guys have. Share it with a friend. Thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. Good vibes and love.
Jared, where can the people find you?
At J Shirai, SHI.
Did you forget your own name?
I forgot my own name now. YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. That's where I'm at. Come check it out and keep following the podcast.
Yes, sir. Keoni. So Keoni, KAYOHKNEE. I don't know why I said my name before I said that other name, but anyway, that's on Instagram, Twitter, and Twitch. That'll do it for us here at the Poi N Soy podcast. Thank you for coming out.
No, you're there. I was like, Jared goes to check.
What
What are you doing, Jared?
I was waiting for you guys to say things. I was like, yes.
I was waiting for Nolan to hit his line first.
I know Nolan usually hits his line first.